المؤثرة. البروفيسور عيني إدريس العالمة الماليزية ونائبة رئيس جامعة بوترا في ماليزيا تناقش برنامج تبادل العلوم والتكنولوجيا 2018 الذي نظم في العاصمة العمانية مسقط، وركز على قضايا وموضوعات مهمة هي الصحة والطاقة والمياه، الوضع الحالي والمستقبلي، ومراجعة التحديات الآنية، واستشراف المستقبل، وتقديم الحلول. عيني إدريس كجزء من لجنة التخطيط في مؤسسة المصطفى للعلوم والتكنولوجيا تحدثنا عن تجربة استضافة الجولة الثانية من الاجتماعات التحضيرية خارج العاصمة الإيرانية طهران، وعن الهدف الرئيسي حينذاك من تلك الاجتماعات وأبرز النتائج.
First of all, I'm really very honored to be involved with the Mustafa Prize Foundation and to be in the committee. And the first time that I came was the first inaugural Laureate Award, Mustafa Laureate Award in 2015. Then
when you had Dr. Jackie Ying,
yes,
and Dr. A-Mayadeen.
Yes. So then after that, the foundation, the committee of the foundation asked me whether I would like to host similar meetings for the scientific section in UPM in Malaysia. So of course I took the opportunity straight away. I did not think twice about it. I said yes, we will do it. We are able to do it because we have been hosting conferences, international conferences before. So I didn't think that we would face any problem in organizing such an event. And most important is that we are very honored that the Mustafa Prize Foundation chose UPM to be the host for the second meeting. And
this is logistically, but to talk about the content and the target of hosting or having the STEP meetings.
At first, the secretariat from the Mustafa Prize mentioned that one of the things that need to be done is to have the scientific conference among the scientists from Muslim countries, and there were about, I think, more than 30 scientists from more than 30 Islamic countries, and that went over to UPM. So we organized to have the sharing session among those scientists together with our scientists, and I took the opportunity to introduce their expertise not only to academics in UPM, but also to all academics in all the other universities in Malaysia. So I invited them to attend our conference, and there were more than 200 that attended the conference. And also, because of the presence of Professor A-Mayadeen, I took the opportunity to introduce them to the students. At first, we started with only groups of students. But these students, when they had a discussion with Professor Omar, they feel that they need to have more. And it was not in our program. However, Professor Omar said, yes, I'll be happy to share my knowledge with the students. And we informed the student, within a day, we informed the student, okay, tomorrow Professor Omar is free. Those students who like to meet him, you're welcome to come to the session that we are organizing with him. And surprisingly, we had more than 200 students from various parts of the country, from various other universities that came in. Yeah, I think that was great. And the sharing session that we had that led to many collaboration, which is another good thing with hosting the scientific conference, because that get people together. And even now, in fact today, during the session today, the professor from American Cairo University mentioned that he had collaboration with staff of UPM, and he sent his student to our lab to do that. So that linked up a lot, yes.
Yes, here, ma'am, it didn't stop, for example. I will talk about the exchange program more, but the efforts with Dr. Omar Yaghi, Professor Yaghi, it did not stop with the meetings with the students, but you did something more, I believe.
Yes, it did not. We did more. We had Professor A-Mayadeen, and because of the students that we had, and he was very impressed. I think he was very impressed with our students. He said that, okay, let's collaborate in research. And we had our staff spend some time in his lab in Berkeley, and he sent his staff as well to help to do workshop at UPM. And we are now collaborating together, coming up with technologies, more technologies that are very important with the two institutions. His lab plus the anchor in UPM is our science faculty and in the chemistry area. And we are still ongoing. The exchange of staff is still ongoing, and the workshop also we have from one workshop to another. And I think they are coming up with some of the results, and there'll be publications together, which is really great.
It's very rewarding.
Very rewarding, very rewarding, yes.
Yeah. A similar case also happened to a certain extent, and this happened with a student from Zuwail City, Zuwail Scientific City in Egypt. There was a kind of free of charge scientific experience for one of the students from Zuwail City who had the chance to travel and work and train for 2 months in the labs of Dr. Jackie Ying. Here, if you can tell us about the criteria, for example, in picking this student and the selection, how it goes, for example, and how helpful is such kind of program?
It is very, very helpful and very outstanding. It's very good for the student.
For enhancing such beautiful minds.
Oh yes, and being able to be in Prof. Yagi's lab, Prof. Omar Yagi's lab is something that many people dream of, to get into the lab. I think that was very good. And you know, we are very impressed with Zuwail's City Science and Technology.
Sure.
Yeah, Professor Zuwail.
Ahmad Zuwail.
Ahmad Zuwail visited UPM during his time as a Nobel laureate. So he came to Malaysia, and also he came to UPM. And now that you're talking about women scientists, one of the questions that he asked during his discussion that time, what about the woman? How is the woman progressing in science? So I think that was really great. Probably that was one of the things that also motivated us to really have good scientists, women scientists, to a higher level.
Now, I'm asking here about, ma'am, the criteria for how do you select the students that would come and do the training, for example, at the lab of Dr. Omar Yaghi or at Dr. Jackie Ying's lab, like the Egyptian students from Zuwail City who spent 2 months there. So how do you pick the students?
First we have to look at the student. Of course, the merit is very important. That we want a student who is very knowledgeable, very good in communication. But most important is the student that is very passionate in the work that they want to do. You can see that when we interview the students, they are very enthusiastic. They take an effort to know more about what they are doing, and you can see the passion in them. I think that's very important. In any work that we do, if you have, if I myself or other staff, if they're very passionate, we know that it's going to work. But if they just want to go and to see place and to learn few things, I think that's not the kind of student that we want to send to such a good lab, because we want the student, when they go there, they come back with knowledge, and they come back and they are also willing to teach other students as well, because they're very passionate with what that they get, and that passion brings them that they will expand further to their other colleagues.
Right.
So that is very important.
Right. Dr. Aini Ideris, allow us to stop now for a short break, and then afterwards we're going to talk about the main subjects of step meeting in the Omani capital of Muscat, and compare between, or not compare, but test the progress of those meetings between Kuala Lumpur and Muscat, but after the break, ma'am. إذا فاصل قصير ونعود لا تذهبوا بعيدا.
عقدت لقاءات برنامج العلوم والتكنولوجيا التبادلية لعام 2018 في مسقط عمان، حيث جرى تداول مواضيع ملحة هي الصحة والطاقة والمياه، الوضع الحالي والمستقبلي، ومراجعة التحديات الحاضرة واستشراف المستقبل وتوفير الحلول. البروفيسور عيني إدريس العالمة الماليزية ونائبة رئيس جامعة بوترا في ماليزيا تشرح الخطوات العملية ونتائج الاجتماعات بين طهران ومسقط.
In terms of the objective, I think they're the same, but the topics were different a bit from the one that we have in Malaysia. Here we're talking about energy, water, and also a lot of discussion here based on the nanotechnology. And I think those are very similar. The things are important areas that we talk about in science and in technology.
The focus in Kuala Lumpur was on nanoscience and nanotechnology.
Yes, nanoscience and nanotechnology as well. So here also we have the nanoscience included, nanotechnology, where Professor Jackie spoke about a lot about the nanotechnology, and we also noticed today that there are other presentations on nanotechnology, which are all very good papers. They are all very good, and this afternoon they're talking about the water and energy. I think the presentation and the choice of the scientists, they are very good. And here also I'm glad that students also are included, and young scientists are included in the program, just like what we have in Malaysia. The only thing that I noticed is that in terms of number of participants, so probably because
maybe it's because one single university.
It's only one single university. So that's why we did not see many students and many participants as what we had in Malaysia. However, the discussions are all very good. And one new thing that's being introduced this time is to bring in innovators. In Malaysia, we only had exhibition, research exhibition. But here, there are innovators from Muslim countries that are brought to show their innovation and some of the products that they have commercialized or going to be commercialized. So that's the addition to what we had in Malaysia.
So transferring science into technology and then technology into investment and into something tangible we can benefit of. But what are the critical gaps for developing technology in Islamic countries, in your opinion, ma'am?
I think one of the things that is very important is, of course, the funding. Financial part is very important because to bring any product into the marketplace, you need funding and you need industry that are interested to help to bring the product out to the market. If we work together, I think we realize that if we work together, the Muslim countries, if we work together, we can have a better access to the market. In terms of commercializing our products.
To what extent do you believe, ma'am, that bringing together eminent researchers from the Islamic world to think and reflect on a strategy of scientific technology and collaboration between Muslim countries, is that productive? I mean, is it only an issue of gathering, delivering papers and presentations, and then you go back home and you don't ever see each other until the next meeting? How much is it successful? How much can they talk their governments into real collaboration, concrete collaboration?
What I can see from the first time that we had the gathering like this in 2015 and now 2018, there have been a lot of progress in terms of the research collaborations. As I said, I'm not sure with others. I know that there are collaboration as well. But with UPM, we had many of the scientists that came to Malaysia continue on to do the research together. And here, during this time also, as it progressed, you can see that there are now invitations to come and work together further up, not just research, but also into the commercialization of the research product doing together. For example, one of the scientists have their product that they would like to expand it over to Malaysia. So I had a discussion a few days ago with a company that they would like to, and with the scientists, that they have the product that they already want to go into the commercialization, and they would like to invite UPM to work together with them. So I see that's a very good progress. There are two invitations to do that so far from the meeting today, and I'm sure it will go further when we start doing the collaboration. So it is a platform. It is not just a platform to meet and to present papers and go back. There are more after the presentation. So it is the conference today that being organized, step that's being organized, is a platform for the scientists from the Muslim countries to meet and also to expand further.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, from the meetings that you have attended at the different conference halls, and as we said that the main subjects were health, energy, and water, what have you come up with? What was the outcome of what you have heard and seen? Are we in a real big challenge? Are we on the brink of the abyss when it comes to heat, to health, energy, and water? Because we see that people are suffering everywhere, from the lack of the water, from the deterioration in the health sector. Yes.
Yeah, I can see that there are things that they are doing now, and the research, as well as some of the output of the research that goes into the community as well. Very important in terms of health. For example, some of the research that has been presented, and especially coming from Professor Jackie, the research that she's doing, quite a number of those are target. The target is to help the communities, especially communities in the Muslim countries that are not able to get some of the products. For example, working into health areas. We know that when it comes to health, the products of health, it is very, very expensive.
Sure.
To come up with the product, very, very expensive. And those are the ones that you get from the European countries, from other American countries. And if we do not have our own, we do not come up with our own, there'll be a time that we can't afford to get those medicine. And you know, some countries, for example, they cannot get the medicine because the medicine are stopped from going into the country.
Exactly.
So if we do not have our own among us to help each other, there'll be some countries without the medicine.
So there is also one of the goals of the STEP meetings, actually, is the exposure of industries to scientists' achievements. The EISA, which is a platform developed to meet the needs of certain scientific or certain group of scientific community and academia to promote their achievements in form of technological projects and services, or technological products and services to new markets focusing on the Islamic world. Have you attended the meetings?
Yes, yeah, and that's the one that we see, the exhibition. It is a first step to show that we have already some of the products, and some of the products, they are in the development stage that should be going into the marketplace soon, and that gives the opportunity for us to learn. Yes, this is the kind of products that are already available, and maybe some other countries are working on it. So instead of starting from zero, we have our counterpart, our friends, our partners now, they are already ready to go into the market, which we can work together. So I think that's a very good opportunities and a very good presentation that's being held during this time.
In 30 seconds, ma'am, one last word to Al Mustafa Foundation and to having such kind of meetings like the STEP meetings.
Well, I'd like to thank Mustafa Price Foundation. Their idea to set up this Mustafa Price Foundation is really very noble.
For science and technology.
For the science and technology, it's very noble because sometimes it is difficult to make ourselves to the forefront in science and technology. But with the foundation that is there, helping the Muslim countries, we know that there are ways that we can do it together. And if we work together very well, inshallah, we'll do the best and we'll get the best.
Right, Professor Aini Ideris, Malaysian academic scientist and Vice Chancellor of the University of Putra Malaysia, UPM. Many thanks indeed for joining us,
It's
ma'am.
my pleasure.
Always
Thank you
welcome,
again.
ma'am. Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
إذا لقاء جديد في الأسبوع المقبل مع ضيف جديد وقضية جديدة ودائما من الداخل. للمزيد من التواصل بريدنا theinsight@almayadeen.net وصفحتنا على الفيسبوك من الداخل، من كل فريق عمل من الداخل، من كل الميادين، من العاصمة العمانية مسقط. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
عند تحدثك مع شخص أصم دع الضوء مسلطا على وجهك، هذا يساعده على قراءة الشفاه وتعابير الوجه والعيون.